What's good, y'all? It's your boy Herb.
And it's your girl Mo.
And welcome to our
soon-to-be world-renowned podcast, Young, Black, and Figuring It Out.
What up, though?
What it do?
Whatever.
We tell it.
You feel me? For sure. Hey, isn't it funny that we literally did not plan that and it just happened?
Yes.
The entire intro.
We are attuned.
We locked in. Yeah, the intro was not planned, but it stuck for 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I got to go back and listen to our very, very, very first episode to see, like, did we do that?
No, you did that.
I
can admit it. You did that.
It's like, okay, we did that, and then we just kept doing it.
You did it the one time, and I think I will give you a lot of credit. You listened to it repeatedly, and then I think there was a gap in time before we recorded the second one.
And it was like, yo,
yeah,
let's run it back.
And you were like, I like that, and it worked well. So
yeah, and people actually be saying that.
Yeah.
Like, where we're not. Oh, we got to see if our girl heard the shout out.
Barbara?
Yeah,
I hope so.
Barbara, come on now.
Yeah, I think she might have, but yeah, here's hoping.
Okay, bet. So, what's good, y'all?
What's up?
What up, though? So let's go ahead and get into it now. Today we have a great episode. The reason being, because as we get ready to kind of send off and ascend into this break that's coming up, just to let y'all know, we always do it at this time. We go on a little bit of a break.
Little holiday.
So y'all get a little holiday from us. We get a little holiday from y'all. And then we come back to it. But yeah, so this one's going to be a real good episode. And I'm thinking, we didn't talk about this before. We didn't rehearse. But because we're going to be doing this anyway, then what we figured out, we should just dive into it.
Ooh,
yeah.
I love that for us.
Yeah, so this episode is going to be all about 2023, which when you look back, that was a long year. That was a long year.
I mean, more happened this year than I can even recall.
Yo.
So much change.
I done forgot more than people learned in 2023.
Why are you like
Yo,
this?
I'm just telling you. It's like, wow, there's a lot happening.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we so this episode is going to be all about reflection. Yeah. So what did we learn? What happened? What do we need to know? What do y'all need to know? What do y'all not need to know? You know what I'm saying? So we got this questions here. We're going to go through these questions, talk about the things. And hopefully, as we're doing that, we inspire other folks to do the same thing. I'm somebody who really personally believes in the fact of, like, end of the year into the new year, reflection and, like, setting up for, like, a launching pad. Some people are like, the response to that is like, you can do that anytime. But it's like, no, everything has really, for me, like, we operate on systems and structures and starts and stops. And so, yeah, it's nothing wrong with that. So.
And I will say, I'll attest to the fact that he does this. Like, that's not something he's just saying to sound good. It's like, no, every year.
Yo, fire. Okay, so we got these questions that's diving into it. You ready? From great multiple sources. All right, so thank you, chat. So my question is, first to start off, you got it in categories, which is dope. Personal identity and growth. Wow.
That is
a place to start.
That's a place to start, stop. Like, you could stay right there.
What a hell of a way to start this. Okay. And the first question was, how has your understanding of your own identity, right, being Black and otherwise, evolved in this past year? And then maybe even to start with that, it's like, how would I describe my identity in the year 2023? Like, dang.
Oh.
Yo.
Oh, and identity is such a big thing.
For sure.
Because it's so personal, you know what I mean? And a lot of times people will place an identity on you that doesn't always reflect how you feel about yourself and vice versa. And
sometimes you're not even aware that that's your identity, right? Like, I remember one time, it's going way back when I was playing college basketball. It was my last year, and it was just towards the end of the season too. I had torn my ACL, which is the best thing that could have happened to me because it set me on the path where I am now. I would have tried a whole different direction. But I remember when I tore my ACL, it was the end of the season. The aspirations of going overseas to hoop were gone. And so I had to think to myself, and it's the first time I realized, like, when I introduced myself, or was asked to introduce myself, it was Herb Alexander, like, oh, I play basketball at such and such, right? And my identity was wrapped in the sport. Like, that's how I viewed myself. That was my identity. And I didn't even realize that, though.
Right.
And so when I was going, it's like, yo, I had to research and refine. But since then, I've always consciously been thinking about like what's my place, my identity in the world, you know? Mm-hmm. So like now I would say it is, man, Herb, like I think my identity is like, it's hard to wrap into it. Like I want to place it in a thing, like in work or in whatever. Black, like that's important to me, right? Being a man is important to me. Being a good human is important to me, right? But like how I put that into an identity, man, it's tough.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't even know how to answer that question. I feel like what you see is generally what you get with me. Like that's whatever you see. So joyful, happy, like caring and or compassionate, direct, maybe a little blunt, respectful, but demanding respect, right? That's, I think, me in a nutshell. And then I think of how did I get like that? Why am I this way? What has spurred that in me? And I think I could go all the way back to childhood. I was like, oh yeah, I see that. You know, the pain, the greatness, the like love, the heartbreak, all of that forms you into who you are. And I think there comes a point where you have to choose that that's what you want to be or not, right? Because a lot of things can make you and like jade you and make you feel this or that way. And sometimes we have to choose better. So I think if I had to just put my identity under one or two words, it's probably like a joyful, wise woman. I give myself.
Hey, you deserve that. Yeah, that's dope.
Thank you.
That's what's up.
Thank you very
Talk
much.
that talk. Yeah. Joyful, wise woman. Yeah, for sure. I like that. Yeah. But that just, you know, that shocked me? That was weird coming from you. Because you typically, like, when it goes to, like, give yourself your flowers, or then, like, you typically, like, defer that or don't love that. So for you to say that, I was shocked. Like,
yes.
What? You saw it in my face.
Yes. Hence the whole theme of this episode, I am learning to walk out of the shadows.
Ooh, come on now.
And so.
Is that the theme of this episode? For you.
Sounds like the name of my book.
For you. Ooh. You should have put that out there. You don't have to bleep that out. Somebody still
it's been recorded. And if we got to go to court, guess who's coming?
Yeah, come on now.
But no, honestly, I think I am working toward seeing myself more true rather than through like criticism.
Yeah, shine your light.
Thank you.
I love that too. Yeah, I like that. And I think, like my identity has grown, or like the growth, I think, has been around self-assuredness. You know?
I agree with
For
that.
sure.
Yeah.
And then I really started to define myself in the future. I would say like, I want to be like what I would call the soldier's general. What I mean by that, that's like a spinoff from the other term, which is like the warrior king, right? Which is like somebody who is also like in the trenches of doing the things and not just kind of sitting behind this veil of not being in the trenches with things, but it's still the leader, right? And so they are in the field. And I think for the stage of my life right now, like that's where I am. It's like, no, I'm like the soldier general. So that means I can also follow. I'm going to go out and do the things, but I'm still a general, right? Like in life, like I have to accept that like being in the light, like you saying, is just a part of my best gifts exist there. So if I go away from that, I'm not going to be fulfilled. And more importantly, I'm not going to help others.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
it's like you don't fulfill your calling.
Which then other people suffer too,
right.
not just me.
Which is a good point. And I think that's a major impact on it. It's like, you know what? You have to do what you're supposed to do so that others may be blessed too.
So and I see the parallels between what we're saying. Do you feel like for your particular, like what you're saying around like the coming out of the shadows, is that scary?
Absolutely.
Better question.
Ooh.
What's more scary, staying there or getting out of there?
Okay, that's a complicated answer.
Well,
because it's easy to say it's less scary to stay in what you know because it's comfortable, you know, you're content. It's not bad here. Why wouldn't I stay? But to think about what you could be and choosing not to, that's scary. And I can't live like that.
Live that way.
And I know other people can, but it ain't for me. And so forth. I must go forth. You know what I mean?
Forth. You feel me? Yeah, I dig that. Yeah. That's fire.
Thanks. Yeah. Proud of myself this year.
I'm proud of you too.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you got okay, go ahead. I know you got some questions, B. You're a therapist. For me, I'm saying before I move on.
Oh no, I hear you. I think I want more clarity on this. You said the soldiers general, because I want to understand what that actually looks like in the regular day. I want to picture it. You know, I'm a very visual human.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's a great question. So the things that I have done to get to where I am now, great and phenomenal. However, what really has gotten me there is the discipline and continuous improvement, right? Like you continue to fight through the things. It's easy to get to a point in life where you might retreat from doing some of those things, or like you can slow it up, right? Or you cannot like deliberately put yourself through hardship or like turmoil, which is like good ones, like the growth, like you know what I mean, like
challenge.
It's like you get to a certain fitness level and then you chill.
Yeah,
it's like you gotta keep. What you might do is now what I'm doing now can't be the exact same thing I was doing then. Right, like okay, I will bust my butt to get here. Now I might do yoga instead of doing whatever else. You know, I got to change it, but I still have to be engaged in the battle, not removed. And again, that's my best place to be, right? So that I can always speak from a place of like, this is what's going on. And so now, like, I want to really train my mind to be a learner, right, in a different way, because I'm a life learner in terms of like life and skill and watching people. I love that because I'm so relational. But I want to train my mind to say, okay, let me get into like this book stuff. Right. You know what I mean? Which is not that exciting for me, but learning in a different way. Yeah. You know, I want to make sure I am disciplined in a different way around things like finances, right? Because I've been good at saving money because I'm frugal. But that's very different than like being financially like astute and anticipate things, you know? So I just want to like switch into that and not just chill because I've like beat level 1 in life. Right. You know? It's okay. So how I'm gathering what you mean. Go ahead. Tell me what it's like you're not just a soldier on the front lines anymore because you've done that. You won those wars or those battles, right? And then as you've moved up to like the general, right? Then now you're at a place where almost like a king can easily remove himself from what's going on with the subjects. And no longer feel the need to like learn the ins and outs, hear what's going on with the people. He has advisors so that you take care of it. You're like, no, I want to stay in tune. I want to stay grounded, and I want to learn these new things rather than just chilling with it or resting on my laurels. Yeah, like chilling with the things I like, just because what I've been able to do now, life wise, it'll be easy for me to just be like chill right there and just fly away into the abyss and just keep doing what's there. But the core of what got me here is being able to like, again, the continuous learning and pushing and growth and just like, so leaning into that. And at some core level, anybody who's similar to me and you or whoever else who has that mindset, we all connect. We might be doing it in different ways. Right. Like Jay-Z is in a different stratosphere on what he's working on and doing. Right. The core of him though is like, you know, I'm putting in the time. I'm gonna get out what I put in, so I'm doing it. It's just on different scales. The same way with the person who right now is like, I'm trying to make ends meet, but that hunger, I'm trying to get there. Right. Like we all connected. Right. I just don't want to lose that, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's the soldier's mentality, like the warrior's mantra. Right. Like we're trying to make this work. Right. Your growth mindset isn't just for a moment or for a thing. It's who you are. And that's not always easy. Nah. When like the fire under you is easy to have there. When it's like, yo, you wake up and it's like, dang, I only got a couple dollars, or like, yo, I'm starving. Or dang, my car breaking down every week, so I gotta. That's built in fire. Yeah. But when that's not built in, you got to do it, you know? You know, I'm going to keep that because that's true. That's very, because I think I told you a few weeks back, I was like, yo, I'm really working toward this point, and I've always been working towards something. And once I hit that point, there's nothing left to like work toward. What does that look like? Who am I? Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like finding what makes sense. Yeah. And to not lose that growth part of you. It's like, okay, I support this. Yeah, are there any like reflections, anything in for you from this year that has happened that you like, yo, this moment in time, this person, this experience, this whatever, really pushed you? into like, you know, that can like define the growth that you had this year?
I refuse to cry on this podcast. Okay. I refuse to cry this episode. Oh, I saw that. But there are probably plenty of things. Yeah. I will say if I had to theme it directly, it's doubt. Doubt has been shadowing, clouding, like living upon my skin for years, right? And I've been, you know, effectively functioning with it. I think this year taught me how much it's holding me back. I don't think I noticed how often I was wearing it because it was daily. You know, it's like it wasn't going anywhere. You could see it, but I couldn't. And I had to start to realize it's time to take it off or things aren't going to move the way you need it to move. That was a hard lesson to have to face this year, right? And I think I went through all kinds of experiences between, like, you could think of finances, going overseas, doing things I've never done before, putting my trust in other people, just having to realize that there is a level of doubt keeping me from achieving more or even experiencing more on a regular basis, right? And it's funny, I came to that realization, and it was right before I talked to my mama. I'm gonna give her a little credit. And she was so surprised, because she's like, that's never been who you were. And looking back, I'm like, you know what? That the whole goal of finding yourself, sometimes you go back to who you were, like the core of who you were before things happened. And I'm like, oh, snap. I used to be a very, like, so faithful type of energy. It's like, it's going to work out no matter what. And at some point in the middle of it, I got in my own way. I was like, I'm so human. Everything gonna fail. It ain't gonna work. It was rough. I was like, so this was a year that had me like, Mo, they ain't gonna work no more. Let it go. And once I let that doubt go, I ain't gonna lie. You ever been happy?
Yeah, it's like, yo, I'm here now.
I hope I look happier too. It's like, I hope the glee just shines through.
And the confidence and all that, just being there. Fire.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's dope.
Same question. Don't be hitting me with, what was the question?
You don't remember.
Because you don't remember, but it was like, what? Anything happened this year that taught you some?
Or help define your growth. Yes.
That is it.
I remember it, but it's okay. You still answer. Yeah, a couple of things. I think one of the a key turning point, because it's a mentality thing that I think was important for me, was when I was making a decision to get my car, my new car. This is like February-ish.
Dang, that long ago?
Yeah, it'll be a year in February. So
wow.
My one of my mentors, who's been on here twice, was telling me, I was talking to him about the decision. I'm like, here's what I'm looking to do, and I was looking at like a different car that wasn't as nice as the one like I really wanted, and blah blah blah, and just going through all this, and a lot of it was like, eventually, I'll get to the car I want like in the next like 3 years. Like right now I'm on, And so he had and I won't share his story because it's not my story to share, but I'll share like what he said to me. And he was like, it's been instances in his life where he's like, he said the same thing, like, I'm gonna get here and I'm gonna get there, and then he reflects back and like, you know what? To be honest, when I think back, it's like I could have done those things right now. And he's like, if you are putting in the time, the energy, the effort, and it's a prudent decision, like waiting to make that decision years later is waiting to make the decision to change in terms of who you want to be. Like if you are there now, make the decision to get what you want now. And that was just like, and it wasn't just about the car. It was the way I shift my mind. Like, you know what? I have gotten to this point, right? I have gotten out of the lane where I should be like in the grocery store thinking about like, do I get this or do I say this? And it's like a 10-cent difference. And it's not about the money, it's about the mindset. And so like the car, he said, when he finally did that for him, when he made a decision about what his thing was, that it was a reminder that, okay, like I've worked to this point, and it actually helped to motivate him. Like, okay, you feel good about it. And that was true, and that really was a symbolic moment of, okay, I can no longer act like X if I want to be Y. There's no way.
Yeah.
Because you can't be both. You cannot be two things.
And if you stay this way, you can never turn into that way. It's like, it's time to switch.
Listen, the sun cannot be the moon. There's no way.
Two different purposes.
Come on now.
Yeah.
So that was one that was fire. And then something that was really, it was like another symbolic moment. I was going to where I used to work when I went to school at. This one people know, Roberts. I went to the presidential inauguration. First black president. So I go to that, right? And I drove down from Ithaca to go, and I'm on a board. So drove down, and I got there late. I was coming down like later than I wanted to, right?
Like, that's not like you.
And so I had got there a little bit late, later than I wanted to at least, because I don't know what happened. I can't remember exactly what happened. I think it was confusion on my part about when it started. I don't know. But anyway, I'm driving. I don't have to get there. So I get there a little bit late, and then they had already started with the processional to like go out. You got like these garbs and all that and stuff that I always looked at and didn't love, right? And so, this is me being honest, transparent. It's like, oh, he on the board saying that. Yes. It's like, why are we getting all fancy and dressed up and doing this? It's like, that's just not me, but when I got to do it, I'm going to do it. That's just the truth, right? So I'm like, I didn't go with them because it already started. So I went like up the stairs to see it. And so I'm up there, and like it's a bunch of people up the stairs, and we watching and going through. And then the president asked people to stand up to like applaud them, right? So he asked the board of trustees to stand up, right? So I stand up, and I'm up there, and I see like a bunch of students and people like looking at me like, oh dang, this brother is a board member, because I'm young, I'm black, I'm chilling,
I thought you were gonna say I figured it out, which is true.
And afterwards, I hear one of the students joke like, yo, you up here with us, like, you're a man of the people. And then it dawned on me like, yes. Now, realistically, I'm going to have to be on that stage, right?
Yeah.
But in the true sense, where I actually exist mentally, physically, what my being is, what I'm connected to. Like, what I realized this year is like, nah, with the people and not with the people removed is where I belong.
Right.
100%.
Which makes perfect sense to everything you said prior.
What?
Yeah. And you are.
Come on now.
You are. Yeah. I will say that for someone who aspires for so much, you are very good at bringing yourself down to speak to anybody. And it's not actually you bringing yourself down. This is just you connecting like you normally do. But sometimes from other people's perspective, they're like, oh my gosh. But I'm like, this is how this man is. This is just his regular life.
I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, those things.
I love that.
Definitely stand out.
How beautiful. Could you imagine? And I feel like if I was a student, that would have meant a lot to me as well. It's like, wow. He was right here, smiled and said hi and talked like a normal person. It's like, Obama, is that you? Yeah.
Hey, B.O.B.Z., my geyser. If you listen to this, come on. Yeah, okay, bet. Good, fire.
Oh, you're too funny.
Now, next question on this.
Nervous.
Nah, it's around this right here. What global or like national events specifically impacted on the Black community are like resonating with you or impacted you this year?
This year?
Yeah, that really stood out.
Look at me trying.
Man, we got Will. Did Will smack somebody this year or was that last year?
Oh my gosh. Last year.
Last year we were smacking people. It's like, yeah, it's like, who knows? That slap has been heard for years beyond.
Why are you like this?
I know. Oh my goodness.
You said what? What's the question?
About impact. What's been going on? Of course, it's recency bias, but like what's going on in Gaza.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, Israel. That's like definitely been impacting me heavy.
It's like trying to, because based off of the month we're in, it's trying to think through all the other ones.
Yeah, there's a lot that's been going on.
Like, oh.
Nah, it's a lot. It's a lot that's been going on. Like that specifically, I know, that's just been tough. Mm-hmm. You know, like that's been a tough one to have to navigate.
Ongoing.
Yeah, and it is ongoing. And who knows?
Right.
You know?
Right.
The outcomes with that. Honestly, the student loan relief being given and taken, the affirmative action being like reverse in that way with the education, like abortion. Like there's a lot that's been going on, honestly, that has been impacting me. And then the impact on the communities that trickle down from like those decisions. What? Man, like, yeah, that's been heavy.
Everything?
All the things have been impacting. Man, but you know what though? I feel like as black folks, we are in a good space. What do I mean by that? I feel like consciousness is like rising. Awareness is rising. Like being aware of the things and inequities and like the barriers and all that good stuff. For sometimes felt almost like a premium. Like you almost had to be in a special class. Like you had to be woke or aware or conscious to know.
Right.
Now a lot of the knowledge, I think, and we could attribute that, I think, a lot to social media. It's just there.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we have a more aware culture right now.
Right.
I don't know if you've seen that or felt that too, but it feels like the knowledge is, or the information, I'm going to say knowledge is there.
The information is definitely present. It's the digestion of the information that is a little wonky still. So like you can be in a mixed group of different racial identities and ethnicities and hear the same information, but how you take it in is very different. And then when you discuss it, it's a very different type of conversation. So, I mean, I think on a personal level, if I'm not going to go globally, but how all of what's going on has impacted me in conversation with others, especially those that don't identify with the same racial identity as me. It has been trying this year. It's been challenging this year. I think I've been in a better mental space than in previous years because there was a time, especially right by George Floyd time, I blocked out the news. I couldn't do it anymore. It was emotionally tearing me down and I'm breaking down at work and I'm just like struggling every day. I'm like viscerally angry and it's coming out toward others. So I had to stop, right, for a while. But now I'm in a place where I can take in the information and be very matter of fact because it is what it is. And I don't like to shy away or pretend, right? So I find myself a lot more confidently discussing racial matters, bringing it up. And I recognize that sometimes others are uncomfortable. Although all I'm saying is very factual things. It's not opinions. It's not just how I may have felt about it. It's like, this is what's happening. And the disconnect has been hard for me. Where it's like, I don't think I should have to keep saying this because the information is there, right? Because you're hearing this.
You should be able to know what I gotta keep telling you.
But that disconnect, so it boggles me sometimes because it doesn't even breed empathy. And I'm like, oh, this is. So I feel like the knowledge is more there. It's like that work in between that needs to now start to work, right? The digestion needs to start to rev up. Yeah.
So awareness is there. Now we need to start to get into deep knowledge and apply that. I heard that too.
Empathy, people. Come on.
We're doing that. Yeah, no, I heard that too. And then I was like, while you was talking, I'm like, let me find some stuff. I think like the first, I forgot this happened in 2023, but Ukraine and Russia, the war there.
That was this year?
Yeah, that's what I said.
That was this year.
Ago. Yeah, it's going fast when that. But
I did not remember that.
Yeah, that's tough. So, and then speaking especially from a black perspective about like, and again, for me, war in life is inevitable, unfortunately. However, like unnecessary war to me is like an issue, which is why I got issues with a lot of stuff that's going on. Russia, Ukraine feels like that to me. It is that to me. And then I remember here specifically a lot of support for Ukraine, which was, which is great. Like we want to help support folks, but also I remember a lot of folks like, hey, what about what's going on right here?
Right.
For black and brown folks.
Right.
And it's not that it has to be a one or the other.
Right.
But it can definitely be a and. And so a lot of people who was like speaking out for that, it's like, dang.
Right.
Where were you?
People listen for the but, never hearing the and. It's like it's always an and the and is forgotten. Because isn't right now, is it Congo going through it?
Oh, it's all of West Africa.
Yes. And I'm like, guess who don't hear about that?
Yeah.
Ever.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So you think about terrorist attacks, like there's been, I think it was, what's the number I sent to you? I think it was 1,400 terrorist attacks in West Africa this year. That never makes the news. You should think about what's on the news right now. Like, and why. That goes, again, back to the value on black bodies.
Right. And I mean, let's be real. The media is biased all the time. All the time. There's never a time when it's not. Just saying. So even if you're listening to news, it's like you got to do some research for yourself.
Yeah, you got to go because it won't.
No, it'll paint it completely different than what it is. Why you put me in this mood? Let's got some happy questions going on.
That's real. I think that's real. I'm not in a bad mood. I feel like that's a fact.
I'm in a justice seeking mood. That's how I feel right now.
I ain't playing. We raising awareness out here. All right. So yes. So let's get back to these questions that were so beautifully written by so many different folks. Yeah. So relationships and networking. How have you built meaningful relationships? What's going on with your relationship life? No, I'm playing. But
that's a better question for me to ask you, ain't it?
Yeah, listen, man. So, but you know, for real, I tell people like I'm taken. So it's no reason to talk about relationship life. I am taken, and her name is The Mission.
I should poll. But would you like an episode?
Her name is The Mission.
Would you like to hear all about The Mission?
Yeah. The Mission. I am taken. I'm married to the mission, y'all. But
I didn't even get an invite to this wedding. All right. No.
So this last question though, just we talk about the 2023 in this year. So quick look back. We talk about all the things and what's been going on, what's been happening. Now let's look forward.
Ooh.
2024. That was fire? Okay. Come
like
on
that.
now. Yes, let's get it. So, all right. So as we look to go forward, what are your aspirations for 2024? Based on the things that you've learned and felt and grown and now getting out of the shadows and like having to, shedding the doubt, like what's happening now in 2024? What are your aspirations? How do you see 2024 being for you?
I see, or I foresee, you know what it is? It's not even just for me. I foresee healing across the board. So within my family and like my friendships, my relationships, like I'm expectant of healing, right? Which comes with challenge at times and deepening and growth and like more spiritual connection. Like I'm expecting that. I think I told you a few months ago, my goal is to be debt free in 3.
Yeah.
Debt free in 3 years. So I expect a lot more of that work to occur, like better financial situation and growth. I expect to help people to the best of my capacity. Yeah. I expect to be a licensed therapist in 2024.
Amen.
As well. So, you know, be on the lookout for it and encourage me through it.
Yeah, you got this.
Yeah, I expect to do more and to do better. And I expect to say yes to opportunities I never previously expected to see myself in. Yeah.
That sounds fire.
Thank you.
You're going to get all those things. You're going to claim it right here.
Ooh, you see? Because I let go of that doubt. And we just be walking in some faith. That is the goal of 2024. It's like brand new me, a little more shiny. All right. Now, sir, what are we looking toward? You and the mission.
Yeah, 2024 is that I think this is gonna be about discipline. I'm just gonna be all about discipline. I feel like I'm really gonna lock in on have a unique opportunity to like really, really, really like just explode into greatness. You feel me? Like just to like really
like a rocket you launching? About the explosion? No, it's just me.
Nah, I 100% feel like I'm just on that path, but it won't happen on its own. You know, so I gotta actually be like disciplined. Like a car needs fuel. It can be a car, but you gotta put fuel in that thing to get where you gotta go. So I'm definitely gonna like it and be more disciplined. Yes. Which I feel like in 2023, I feel like I have naturally. I might be like maybe more disciplined if folks were doing something comparatively, but not based on what I know I can do. Like I know I coasted a little bit. Or a better way to say that, if I'm be honest, I did not coast. I chose to enjoy all of the work it took to get to where I am now. And then that still comes with a little bit of guilt just because of like life. It's like, nah, you gotta grind until you wear away. So I chose to do that, but I still had a little bit of guilt. So So that was cool. That was great to be able to do that. But now it's like, all right, we're going to lock in, you know what I'm saying, and get to where you got to go because you still got somewhere to go, right? Like what got you here will not get you there.
Right.
You know, can I get an amen from out there?
Amen.
Yeah, so I'm going to be disciplined. And I actually want to do, like I want to transform. And what I mean by that is like I want to be efficient, right? So I'm going to say no to more and maybe yes to less or yes to different.
I like yes to different.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like shedding the extra, but being like really focused for sure. Yeah.
Trimming the fat. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's gonna be lean and mean out here.
All right.
I mean.
A little green. I was just like, that's my best friend and I support him. But then he said that line. Anyway.
But yeah, y'all, so it's gonna be fire. And listen, we want to wish y'all an amazing year too. Yes. Whether you had already had an amazing, prosperous year, congratulations, keep it going. And if you felt like this year was not what you really wanted it to be, that's okay. Let's refocus and let's get to it. But you got to do it though.
Nothing to it.
But to make it happen. So, listen, you might be listening right now and be thinking, yo, what in the world are they talking about? Look, we might be right.
We might be wrong.
But at the end of the day,
we just young, black, and figuring it out.